What's going on, addressees? Welcome to the H&R TV, the official YouTube channel for the hottest new revolution, culture, and movement. That's to live your life and love the life you live, regardless of who you piss off in the process, culture, and movement. And in this video, so this is a part two to the gut feeling, um, test out your theories on the folks around you, that post. And if you didn't see that post, then I'm gonna put a link in the description and go back and watch that one before you watch this one. Otherwise you might be lost. So, well, I'll do a quick recap anyway. So in that video, I was just basically explaining that um, I seen some people recently just talking about like if you want to basically lead a trend, start a trend, lead a movement, start a company, whatever, start something new. Just like a big part of it is just following your gut and putting yourself out there, which, yes, a big part of it is following your gut and putting yourself out there. But before you put yourself out there to the public, um, I feel, and my own strategy was to follow my gut just with the folks around me um, first, just to get the validation and the confidence, to build the confidence up. Um, that to know that, okay, once I do go public with whatever this is that I'm um, trying to establish, I already have experience with it. I already pretty much know the response that I'll be getting from the people that I'm reaching out to, um, or not even the people that I'm reaching out to, but the response, the type of people who will respond to just the messaging and what it is that I'm putting out, or and even how to put it out, the messaging and what it is, the trend, whatever it is that I'm putting out, how to put it out in such a way that will attract the type of people that my goal is to attract with what I'm putting out, because I tested it out first on the people around me. Okay, that's the recap. Hold on. So I forgot to mention a couple things in that video that I want to speak on in this one. Whatever it is that you are working on, or whatever it is like that's about you that you want to bring into the world, that this is going to be your thing that uh, uh, helps you take off and get rich and like be like start your own thing and own your own thing, or whatever the case may be. Um, your original trademark, your original idea, whatever it is. Or, like I said, you can follow trends. People have been successful following trends. They just don't own what it is that they're doing. Um, and I go back and watch the other video because I'm explaining all this there. But I strongly suggest like using that energy to try to start a business first, and then yeah, go back and watch the other video because I don't feel like explaining all of that right now. That's I got more to explain in this video. So go back. I'm gonna put a link in the description of this video. Go watch that video and then come back and watch this one. All right. You got to understand as well that in order to build the confidence that what it is that you put out is going to reach who it is that you wanted to reach, you have to, the research that you do, like the feedback that you get from the people around you. And remember, I told you the people around you in your life are good for feedback. They are not going to be your audience, the folks that's actually going to put you on and make you rich and start following you and everything like that. So understand that they are not your target audience for whatever reason. It's just people that you tend to know personally, um, who seen your grind, seen your struggles, known you for a while. Um, it's just a little harder. to get them to latch on. They tend to come around a little later on after the strangers already made you pop off. All right, so understand that, but you have to in order to get the confidence that you need, it can't just be just anybody around you like that you testing out your theories on. It got to be people that fall into the demographic or that fall into the types of people that you're hoping to reach with whatever it is that you're doing. I'll give you an example for my own personal story, my personal experience with creating the fluid community. Um, well, before the fluid community existed, um, a couple just back a few years ago, or before the fluid community was even on anybody's radar, I was still me, like, um, and because the fluid community wasn't on anybody's radar during that time, I had to identify myself as discrete LGBT, right? Um, and I mean, it wasn't something that I was necessarily like leading with, like just going around telling everybody, like, oh yeah, I'm discreet. I just nothing like that. It's just me. Like, this is who I am. I don't go over and above or beyond to try to hide who I am or nothing like that. So, in any space that I was in, I was just myself. So, that would be a good place to start. And I mentioned in the other video that uh, probably like some subliminal ways to pick the people's brains around you and like get the feedback that you need in order to build your confidence to go public with whatever you're doing. Um, Start by like just asking subliminal questions, picking folks' brain. It don't have to be nothing super obvious. Um, but another thing, like I'm saying right now, is having the building up the courage to um, show up in the capacity of whatever it is that you are trying to do or trying to build, right? So just showing up in those circles and around those people, again, the types of people that you are trying to reach with whatever it is that you're doing. Like, so for example, um, like my family, like relatives and stuff like that, like they've known about like me, like for a while, for a long time now. Like, it's nothing that I was ever really like, well, yeah, so they've known about me for a while, right? But they are not necessarily the target demographic and the target audience for what it is that I was trying to like bring into the world or whatever. So whether like their support or their lack of support never really like my confidence never really or my confidence in what it was that I was doing never really hinged on their support or their lack of support because they were not the audience that I was trying to reach or the demographic that I was trying to reach anyway. You know what I'm saying? I have a app, a startup company addressed me um, that the fluid community would be like the initial target audience that I would be hoping to reach in order to build up enough users, enough customers on the app to where like word of mouth, people start talking about the app, you start building it up and promoting it and stuff like that. But anytime you want to build a company, you have to find the people who would need it the most. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to get your company up and going and off the ground. You have to find like the people who experience the problem that you experience. You get what I'm saying? Like, so with me coming up with the idea for Address Me, because I missed a lot of connections with dudes just being out and about, like crossing paths with folks, and it's obvious that it's mutual interest, but I don't know about them. They don't looking at me. They don't know about me. So like a lot of missed connections happened that way. So those were the types of people that I wanted to reach out to, or whatever the case may be, and especially like um, younger, like teens, like early 20s, or whatever the case may be, right? So fast forward, when I started promoting Address Me, an opportunity ended up presenting itself for me to engage with like some people from the target demographic, like teens, early 20s, target demographic of people that I wanted to, um, that it was my goal to reach with the fluid community and what it is that I was doing, right? So I ended up um, uh, uh, locking in with them, engaging with them. And again, like I said, I show up like me all the time. I don't try to hide. Like, I don't know. It just even in that time, I just had the courage to show up as myself, and cause I had been doing it for a while anyway. So, um, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, well, initially, like they was rocking with me. They was rocking with it. Everything was cool. Like, it was coming to my crib, at my studio. I had a studio at the crib. We would chill. Everything was locked in. I would probably wouldn't like. I didn't. I didn't, like I said, I didn't lead and just up and say it. But again, like it was. I didn't hide. Like, so they pretty much knew what it was and they was cool with it, right? So I'm like, okay, this is feedback. This is feedback that I'm getting. Like that, okay, so I can be myself around this demographic of people that I would hope to be reaching out to and get in contact, like, or with my content or whatever the case may be. Um, and it could work because it's working right now. They know who I am and they rock with me, right? But here's the thing. And again, whatever it is that you are wanting to bring into the world, that whatever value that you possess within yourself based off of your own experiences or whatever the case may be, and you show up in a space around the folks that you hope to um, like put that content out to get them on that trend or onto knowing about your business or whatever it is that you're building. Um, it's not a whole like my ambitions. Hold up, my ambitions, like making being fluid, like what acceptable or like normal or whatever the case may be, is that's like a moonshot sort of, like that's something that, and again I had to do this because my company addressed me. That's the whole reason that I created the fluid community, because I needed to be the face of my brand. But again, it's not a whole lot of things. I say that to say that it's not a whole lot of things I believe that anybody could even think to bring, to try to bring into the world that could like um, that would be as difficult as trying to make being fluid cool. If you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. Like, and don't like today is shit is taking off. Like, folks is rocking with me, but back then it was a different story, right? Give me a second. Back then it was a different story. So I had my ambitions. I had this moonshot idea, or whatever the case may be, and I was. I mean, the relationships that I had was genuine, but at the same time, they were strategic. I was getting feedback and basically doing research and development for address me, my company, and marketing and how it would move forward with promotions. Like I had to validate my hunch and my theory that I wasn't alone and that there were people um, in that street demographic, street dudes in the street demographic or any demographic of young um, guys who uh, could get on the same page or who felt the same way that I did. And that was my validation, showing up around the people that I knew when the opportunity presented itself and receiving that feedback. But I will admit, things did get a little ugly. Um, these folks are, I don't know, I guess you would refer. It was one guy who was, I guess, like their leader or something. I guess I don't even know how to. Oh, I don't even know how to break this down. So, man, I guess street dudes. I guess that was in a gang. You could say they was in a gang, right? They was in a gang, folks, and um, but they would hang like they was cool. I was cool with them. I'm not in the gang. I'm not a gang. Like I was almost like well my yeah. Anyway, I was on. My goal was to be a mentor for real, but one of them came around, and I guess he was their leader, and he felt his power slipping away or his attention slipping away, and I don't know. Initially, like he was in the fold too. Like he knew who I was. He respected me. Um, to a degree. He didn't. I guess he didn't rock with like, cause I call shit out. If you doing something that I don't rock with, I'm gonna call it out. Like he was at my crib all week, just playing video games. I never even said that he could stay that long. Like just doing different things like that I would call out, and I guess his pride got involved, or he just felt like his attention or like his power slipping. I don't know. I can't speak for what made him turn, but they were initially loyal to him. So obviously, if I'm a new person in a situation or whatever the case may be, um, they're going to realign their loyalties with who they came with. So that ended up happening. Shit got ugly, shit got messy in the streets and just like in the area that I was in or whatever the case may be. Um, but but even through all of that, they still continued to come around me. And they still continue to look up to me. They still continue to rock with me. Like all of that. Like regardless, I didn't know like everything that was going on like behind the scenes or whatever the case may be. Like, but all I knew and all I needed to know was that okay, despite everything that's going on and everything that's getting messy, they still coming around me. They still rock with me. They still want to be around me. They still like you feel what I'm saying? So that was the validation that I needed that okay, I got something. That's when it clicked for me like okay, you know what? Even though folks is doing what they feel like they got to do in order to save face, um they still want to be around me. They still want to come around me. So um, that was the validation that okay, I know I can do this now, even if it's just me. Um, if I can get like, if I can be around these folks that are in this demographic that I want to reach with what it is that I'm doing, and um, they know who I am, they know what it is that I'm doing. Even back then, like they like thought I was discreet LGBT instead of like fluid. You get what I'm saying? Like it's I don't know, like before creating the community that I feel like aligns with myself and with their interests, they still like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that makes sense, it's kind of hard to describe really and break it down. I'm doing the best that I can, but like they were still like rocking with me. Um, and yeah, that gave me the validation and the confidence that I needed in order to know, okay, you know what, this could work and this will work if I do it right. So yeah, even though things got a little messy or whatever the case may be, I still was able to get the information and the feedback that I needed to move forward. And that's exactly what I did, folks. So the moral of this video and of this story is in your research of whatever it is that you decide to introduce to the world, whether it be a business, whether it be a trend, whether it be whatever, and you're getting feedback, um, make sure that you're getting feedback from the people, the demographic and the category and the types of people that you are hoping to reach whenever you go public with whatever it is that you're doing. You're not going to get the confidence by just getting the feedback from family or relatives or other people that don't necessarily um, that aren't in that category of people that you're hoping to reach. So if you get the right feedback from those people, that's going to give you the confidence that you need to go ahead and move forward with it. And that's going to give you the accurate feedback that you need, because like if you like your aunties and like uncles or whatever like rocking with it, but your peers is not, then like, but you are hoping to reach out to your peers and get folks like in that demographic, that category on board, that's something different. Or if it's like some peers like you um uh, uh like you getting feedback from peers, but it's something that is for like an older demographic that you want to bring into the world. You get what I'm saying? Like you got to make sure that the feedback that you're getting matches the category of people that you're trying to reach out to. That's going to give you the confidence that you need. And um and and you can show up and ask questions, like pick folks' brains and get feedback or whatever the case may be. But the true tell is when you show up and you can show up in the capacity of whatever it is that you're doing, or like you can demonstrate whatever it is that you're doing for people, um, whether they ask or not. Just show up. Just show up as that thing. Just do it. Like build up the courage to do it, and like get the feedback. Be ready to get negative responses, get like positive responses. Be ready to get whatever response that you like gonna receive, but that response regardless is gonna be feedback to help you either adjust and try something a little, like tweak it a little next time, or if you want the money, like, well, what you doing right now, this could work, like, okay, this, until you get comfortable to the point where, okay, now you're showing up regularly doing this thing that you do or bringing this value that you bring, and people know you for this now. And it's nothing like to convert um that confidence that you have in your own circles, to get it to convert online with the messaging that you're putting out, or the trend that you're starting, or the company that you're starting. You get what I'm saying? I hope a lot of I know I get like when I'm trying to explain these concepts and stuff like that, it can get a little like uh, uh, difficult to explain. So I don't know how well y'all are able to understand what it is that I'm saying, but I'm just trying to put y'all on game, man. So I'm hoping that it's making sense. Um, yeah. So yes, follow your gut, but get the feedback from your circles. But make sure that the folks that you're getting feedback from are relevant to the people that you're gonna be reaching out to. All right. Y'all be safe today. Stay out the way. Take everything one step at a time, one day at a time. Focus on finding yourself and finding your purpose. I love you, King V, H&R.